Hi everyone and welcome back to So Blessed by Jess, and today is Moda Blockhead Day. Yes, I know that it came out on Wednesday. It is Thursday. I have had some time to think through what this block's gonna look like, and yes, it is gonna be amazing. One thing, I am, as you can see, not in my normal background when it comes to, I am in my parents' house, and I have decided, I gave all my fabric to my mom, and I said, Mom, quilter to quilter, because she is a quilter. She does make her own things. She used to have her own quilt shop. She has the eye of a quilter, and I really do enjoy it, and sometimes I bounce things off of her. We have challenges together, and today I challenged her. I said, okay, I'm not going to tell the people which colorway is yours and which one colorway is mine, but I'm going to go ahead and put one of them together, then put the other one together, and then you get to vote which one you think pleases you more than the other. And I know they're going to be hard to choose. They are. But I'm not going to tell you which one that I created and which one that my mom curated. So, and I just kind of did like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This is the one I'm going to put on the video. So I did all my cutting. And you guys, it's such a beautiful block by Sherry and Chelsea by This a Quilty Life. But it's called Dewdrops, and Chelsea from the mother-daughter duo, Sherry and Chelsea, went ahead and made this beautiful block. You guys, it is adorable. Lots of half square triangles, lots of snowballing, even a 1/4-inch triangle. So we have a lot of sewing ahead of us, but when this block comes together, it's going to be beautiful. All right, so I cut everything down. I'm gonna go ahead, bring you down to the table. We're gonna lay it all out and then start putting it together. You guys, oh, I'm so excited. And I can't wait to see which block you prefer more than the other, or if you like both of them, you can go ahead and say that. But I would rather you tell me one or the other. I don't know. Is that weird to say? Anywho, all right, let's go ahead, bring you down to the table and show you what we're working with. All right, so in this block that we are doing, here are all the fabrics for one block. You are gonna need, for our half square triangles, there are 2 colorways that go in each corner. So I have 4 2.5-inch squares in a gingham orange, and then another one in the orange with the flowers. And remember, this collection comes from Sherry and Chelsea. This is actually strawberry lemonade. And then we also have 8 of these background fabrics, so to make our half square triangles. Then we have our 1/4 triangle square units. The inside, all of this light gray will be the same color. This triangle on the outside will be the white background, and then this darker gray is going to be another fabric. So the person that chose this colorway, all right, we are going to have this as our half square triangle unit, or sorry, 1/4 square triangle unit. So or hourglass, if you want to call it that. Okay, so this is our hourglass. The back, so we have background, and then we have a low volume in the center. So here's our half square triangles. Here's our hourglass unit, and now we have this beautiful X in the middle, and this is going to be snowballing. We have 12 snowballs to do because each side, or sorry, each one of these squares have 3 sides that are snowballed. We have, for that inside X, we have this fabric, and it is going to be snowballed by this little print right here. So this same background fabric. Okay, So I'm going to start off with the half square triangles. So I'll show you how to do those. Then I will show you how to do this piece where we're snowballing, because this one is very straightforward in the fact that it's already cut up in its form, and all we have to do is just sew down these edges, press, and then go. So I'm just going to put this to the side. Okay. Now, to make your half square triangles, and we're making 2 of them at a time. We're going to draw a line down the back of all of our background fabric. Now, I just use a normal pen. If you have a fabric pen or a fabric marker, like those erasable friction, you can use those. I use a pencil, I use a marker, I use whatever's available to me. I just happened to pick up this pen today. But if I can keep it on the line. So I'm going to go ahead, finish drawing this, and then show you what we're working with. All right, so we have drawn our line down the back of all of our background. And what we're going to do is we're going to match it up to our color, and we are going to sew a 1/4 inch down the side of each of on the side of this line, and we're going to do that to all 8 of our fabrics. So we're going to have 4 in this colorway, 4 in this colorway. All right, once we are all sewn together, we're just going to take our ruler and we are going to go ahead and, oh, I do think I need a new blade. It's about time. We're going to go ahead and separate each one of these blocks. We are then going to flip them back, iron them, and trim them down to a 2-inch square. So there will be some overlap on both sides. So as you can see, once I iron it, I'll have plenty of room to trim it down to 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all 8 of these, and we will continue our process. So now that I have all of my half square triangles pressed to the dark side so that everything's pressed towards the color and away from the background, we're going to go ahead and trim these down to 2-inch squares. So I'm going to make sure that my diagonal is going from my lower right, or sorry, my lower left to my upper right, so that when I put my ruler on, I can use my 45 degree. Now, I'm not looking at trimming it exactly to 2 inches right now. I'm going to make sure that it overlaps a little bit beyond the 2, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just trim up this top section first and get that dog ear off. Then I'm going to rotate my square. Now I'm going to look at my 2 inches and 2 inches and my 45 degree angle, and then we're going to go ahead and trim. And I always trim to the corner so I don't nick the corner. Now that we have made our 2-inch squares, every single unit that we make is going to look like this. So all of the color is in the upper left-hand corner, and the background or whatever you're using, it could even be a low volume, is in the lower right-hand corner. We're going to make this 4-patch 4 times. All right, then I'm going to finger press this one to the right, this one to the left, or you can press open depending on what you want to do. I'm going to nest my seams together. Now there's quite a bit of bulk right there, so just watch out how you're doing it. All right, and then we're going to sew the seam. All right, when we finish these, which the unit goes like this. Now we just need to make sure that it is about 3.5, and we're gonna have to pull and distort it a little bit. I should have pressed at a half, or like a scant 1/4 of an inch, but I'm not on my typical sewing machine. Oh, I can make this. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll pull and tug. So we'll get those to be 3.5. Next, we're just gonna keep moving on. So, you know, FYI, not always perfect, and that's gonna be okay, and we're gonna make do with what we have, and it's gonna be a beautiful block. We're gonna go ahead and make these. Okay, so I'm gonna take these 2 triangles, put them together, and I'm gonna make sure that the one with the low volume is always on top, so that I know that I'm always going down that seam. When I go to do these 2 pair, I'm gonna make sure that the citrine color is always on top. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew 1/4 inch down this side, and this side we're gonna go ahead and make our 1/4 inch triangles. All right, and then we're going to press towards the green on both sides. Come over, and now our seams should nest, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch down this long seam. All right, now that our 1/4 square triangle is complete, we are going to trim these down to 3.5. Okay, I'm going to use my 45-degree line and my 3.5 inch line. We're going to line up our 3.5, or sorry, our 45-degree line, and then here is our 3.5 inch line. Now I could go the other way so you can see it a little bit better. And this is my 3.5 inch line, and it's going to meet right at this seam where these 2 lines intersect. So now I'm going to get my rotary cutter. We're going to cut with confidence. Goodbye. Flip this 180 degrees. All right, put it at my 3.5. This line should hit my seam. The end of my ruler should hit the seam, and this 45-degree angle should line right up on that seam also. Okay. And we're going to do that 4 more times. And our last piece. So we need to make now this X that's right in the center. So we have 4 2-inch blocks, and then we have 3 1.25 inch squares that's going to snowball. So to snowball, what we are going to do, and this is how I do it, you can draw a line and sew. I am a let's cut off the excess and just put it in and use our 1/4 inch foot. So let me show you how I did that one more time. I'll just do the other side real quick. So I'm going to take my square, my 1.25 inch square, lay it on my 2-inch square that I have, because we're going to do opposite sides and then either just one of the other sides. I'm going to take my 1/4 inch line, and I'm going to put it point to point. There you go. Giving me that 1/4 inch seam, I'm going to go ahead and cut. So now when I sew on the machine, I'm going to sew from 1/4 inch to the 1/4 inch. I can flip it out and go. I'll show you in just a second. So it might be hard to see because I do have dove thread, but I sewed a 1/4 inch down. So when I flip it open, I'm going to finger press. there are my snowballed corners. Now I'm going to pick one more corner, just need one. And I'm going to iron this out first. So I'm going to iron and press it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my last one. I'm going to put it on one side. I'm also going to trim off 1/4 inch. Make sure I can see it. Okay. I'm going to sew down this 1/4 inch. And there we go. And we need to make 4 of these units. And just make sure that when you're sewing with a scant 1/4 inch, so that they come out 2 inches square. All right, so let's go ahead and put this block together. Let's see, all my trash is put away. All right, move everything. So, let's see if I can back you up a little bit more. Boop, boop. There we go. Oh, I can't wait for you to see the other block too. All right, so we're gonna start with our center. Our center is going to look like this. And then our hourglass or 1/4 square triangles are going to come to the center like this, so that this background is all together. And then the gingham is in the corners. So we're going to go ahead and put this patch together first. We're going to make sure that it measures 3.5 inches. Once we have that, it's one big old 9 patch that we're putting together. Okay, so Blockhead 6, block number, oh, what block number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this the 5th block? I believe it is the 5th block. Yeah, it's block number 5. This is right here on the bottom, Jess. Oh my word, hello. So Dewdrops by Chelsea Stratton is the block that we are working on this week. Here, all the cutting instructions are on that first page. If you want to do color it in just to see what your fabrics look like, that would be amazing. All right, so the block we did together today is this one right here. I will not let you know if it was from me or my mom, like who curated the fabric for that, but here is the first block. And drum roll please, the second block is this one right here. It looks a little busier, I understand that. But yeah, it looks amazing too. So I'm excited about that. So which block do you like better? This one or this one? So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down in the comments below. Just go ahead and put it in the comments below. Do you like citrine and orange? Or like the whole rainbow? So block number 1 or block number 2. This will be block number 2, by the way. Anywho, yes. So another week down. We are 5 weeks in. We are just trucking away into, you guys, this doesn't end until November. Remember, I'm going to do 2 blocks every single time that we do it. I need to figure out my layout eventually. But yeah, it's really amazing. So this block finishes at 9.5 unfinished. And when you have it in your quilt, it'll be a 9-inch block after it's all sewn in. This one takes a little bit more patience. All of these, let me do the first block. When you're doing all of these flip corners, it really takes patience, and you should do it at a scant 1/4 inch. And a scant 1/4 inch is just like a thread or 2 length away from where the 1/4 inch technically would be, so that when you flip it out, you still get your 2-inch piece. So anywho, thank you so much for following along. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please leave a comment in the video below, and I will see you on the next short or video. Bye.